Continuing on down Decatur Street, you come to the famous Cafe du Monde. As you can see, there's a small line here that's not as bad as it usually is. It's a famous New Orleans stand for coffee and beignets, and that's kind of a classic thing you have to get. There are a few places that sell them here. Everybody knows about it, but Cafe du Monde is the first that I know of that's still in operation, and everybody's heard of it. They sell their coffee everywhere now, which is coffee with chicory in it. Now, the idea of putting chicory in coffee originated around World War II when coffee was rationed, and they wound up starting to supplement it with chicory, which has a nice little bitter flavor, and it has a unique flavor that you get to recognize when you've had it over a while, and some people crave it.
Don't forget about Philip. Fill up the box. The box? Play the box.
Now, during the day, Cafe du Monde is very crowded, very popular. It's a tourist attraction here. At night, it's less so. If you really have a craving for beignets, as long as you don't want them for breakfast, this is a good time to come. We are at the world famous Cafe du Monde. We're here, they're known for only two things, beignets and cafe au lait, coffee with milk in it. Now, they make other things and they serve other things, but basically the only thing they're really known for are their beignets and their cafe au lait. Beignets are a French style donut. They're mostly like pillowy and soft, and they have tons of powdered sugar on them. People get into sugar wars where they will blow the sugar off the beignet onto each other. We may do that here. We don't know. I'm here tonight with Jenny and David, and they're here, and David is going to hide himself from the camera right now. There's David. There's Jenny. We're splitting two orders. By the way, Cafe du Monde has been around for a very long time. In fact, this is where Louis and Lestat met in Interview with the Vampire, and I believe that was in the 1700s, because this place has been open for a very long time. It's now no longer owned by the French, it's owned by Vietnamese, but the food is definitely good and worth having. The place is pretty empty right now. It's after midnight. It's also a very cold night. It's about 37 degrees here. Not the most pleasant time to be outside eating. They've taken the place, and it's usually open air, but they've covered it in curtains in order to retain some of the heat. And as you can see, it's not that crowded. It makes for a good time to come. It is usually packed during the day. Now, nobody says you have to stand on the line that forms in the mornings, but most people do. I never quite understood that. I tend to go in the other entrance. They're fine with it. Cafe du Monde is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So if you're in New Orleans at 3 in the morning and you start jonesing for a sweet, fluffy beignet, you know where you can go to satisfy your craving. If you go in the morning, expect a crowd. It is classic to hear sort of blues, ragtime, or funk music of some type in the street outside in front of Cafe du Monde, and this is one of those times. During the day, there's always live music on the sidewalk outside, provided by a snazzy brass band or a lone trumpet player. There's nothing that makes you feel more like you're in the city that care forgot than munching on a French donut, drinking French cafe au lait, and listening to live jazz or Dixieland amidst the crowd of swirling tourists.